All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, gentlemen, to the Bitcoin market update. Today is December 5th, 2019. Let's jump right into it. BTC USD on the 1 day for Coinbase. We have some lift. Now, yesterday when I did my video, we were down here right around 7,300. We're about $150 higher, plus or minus, and are working our way now above the 9. So this is very positive. Yesterday, I basically ended it by saying I'm bullish. I was holding my position, which is right here on this line. I thought possibly this could be a good sell point. I did get another entry lower. I can't remember. It's not here on the chart, but I did get an entry lower also, kind of feathering in the buys or on the way down here, because I believe that this baby wants to rock and roll. We have an area of resistance overhead, which is this red block right here. And that starts at basically 7,750. And once we move into that, if we can punch through and go higher, maybe reaching as high as this 50-day moving average that's coming down, we should be able to make some good headway to the upside. Now, the good headway to the upside, my target is right around $9,300. So I think what we're going to do is, if I squish this chart down a little bit and take out some of your drawings here, we have a 200-day moving average that's coming down here. It's now red, so it's on its way down. It's peaked and is crested and is now rolling over. I think what we're going to do is come back up and retest that. So we did not get a back test of the 200-day moving average really for a while, right? So when we broke through right here, we broke above it, we back tested it. I thought we would run higher. Instead, it came and broke through here. But we never came back up and retested it and then came down. we just broke through and kept falling. So I think what this is going to do is come back up and back test that 200-day moving average and then fall back down below. Okay, so this is the daily. I'm not expecting us to go full bull from here. Okay, I don't expect a bull run after this. I'm taking it one move at a time, really. I believe the next move is to the upside. Now, let me take away some of these indicators and just give you a clean chart. All right, so what you have here is basically when we pulled back and we set a new low, we gathered strength and then pushed higher. We couldn't go higher than, our higher high. So we got a higher low, and we got a lower high, and then we came down here and broke below this level right here, down here, boom, making a lower low, gathered a little bit of strength, a little bit of weak strength here, and then came back down, retested it, and then went higher. So we have a floor here now, right? And once the floor was established, it ran higher. Now, what we're doing is we couldn't get higher than this. This high couldn't get higher than this high. So it turned around and came back down to basically this floor here. You can see we got it on a wick and we got a bounce. Came back down and retested this floor that was set right here with the bodies of this candle, bodies of these candles. We came down here, tested it, got another bounce. Notice that this bounce on the bodies couldn't get higher than the bodies of this. We're getting a law of diminishing returns. And now what we have is a triangle here that cannot basically be diminished anymore. So we had capitulation to the downside. We had a more flattening out and more downtrend until this day came in where we punched up. The good news is that the wick was able to penetrate this floor that we created all the way across, we penetrated the wick, but bodies of the candle were firmly rejected. So we could not close above this floor that we made. And we've been coming down ever since. Now, we did set a new low. Now, every time you set a new low, you are pretty much going to consolidate and then get a bounce. So that's pretty much what we did here. We got a new low, we consolidated, made a bounce, new low, consolidated, made a new bounce. Down here, we made a new low, we consolidated, made a new bounce. And we're going to do the same here. We're coming down, making a new low, consolidating, and boom, we're going to shoot to the upside. So it's it could happen here, or it could break down and then try again to the upside later. But I'm thinking more now because of the spacing between each top, right? It's been a while, and it's going to take a while to get up here anyway. So I'm thinking this is probably a good time to at least try the top of this downtrend line here. Okay, so that's Bitcoin on the daily. I'm bullish. I'm thinking I'm bullish at least to 93 ish, plus or minus. Let's bring back in these. It's also the downtrend here that we have in yellow is coming down, and I'm expecting it to just, it'll probably wick higher, but I don't expect to close higher than this downtrend yellow line. All right, so moving on. What we have also that I didn't really talk about in the last video is this. If we switch over, I could do it on a 4-hour chart. Let's pull that up and up. That's a little bit too much. Let me just make a little more room here. There you go. All right, we're going to jump into head and shoulders. If you go from our top and you come down to the bottom and then come up here and then down here, and then you have a head. Now we're working on a right shoulder. So anything over this blue line is going to complete a head and shoulders. So if I zoom out like that, because we're right here on price action, right? So if we come out here and then punch above this right here, this neckline, we're going to punch higher. And if you do the measured move, we'll go from here up to here, and then we're just going to pull that over. If you do the measured move to there and squish it down, you get about to this line here, this downtrend. It's just seems to work out just about perfect. Now the downtrend, it could come in here or here or here. It doesn't matter, but it works perfectly with this downtrend line. Like we're going to come up and touch it. Now it could wick really high, right? So it's not saying it's going to stop here. The wick can move up on the daily chart, but I'm anticipating a close below. I'm expecting a lot of rejection from this overhead area of resistance. I don't think we're going to tackle it just yet, but I do believe we're going to back test it. So let's move back into the daily and look at that again, see how the chart is looking. So yeah, so there's our downtrend channel, both sides. We're going to pop to the upside on the daily chart, head up here. It works perfect. Now the 618 target, I have to go back in time and give myself a pat on the back, because as we were breaking down, I figured that this was the 618 target from back here, right? And I talked about that 618 a lot. In fact, my positioning was a little further in time. I missed it by, the low was on the 23rd, and this target here is just an area. I missed it by maybe 5 days. So this target was achieved, the 618, and I figured we'd get a bounce after that. So yeah, hindsight's 2020. You put these targets in and you're just like, well, I hope it reaches my target, but you have to reach beyond that. Once it reaches that target, what will it do? And I'm not going to make that mistake over here on this chart again. So if we get a bounce to the 93 area, anticipate major pullback, right? A lot of pullback like we had here. We hit the top and we pulled back and then we worked our way down. It could be very similar to the pullback there. So once we reach this target at 93, expect a pullback down to this target 2 on my low of a bottoming of around 54. So we're going to go up and then we're going to come down. That's how I see things working out right now. I can pull out some arrows for you to help you out and visually kind of see where we're probably most likely heading after that. So yeah, this channel has a long way to go on the downside. We're just getting started. We're not just getting started. We're over halfway through, but I think the final sell-off could feel pretty wild. It could feel pretty rough. So and it could just make another floor. That's also a possibility, because we had a floor here and it held for a while. Then we had breakdown, came up, went lower. Now we're going to come up and then we're going to go lower again. So yeah, it might take 2 or 3 more cycles before we get down into these areas, before we get a real pop to the upside and a trend change, because the trend is down. Make no mistake about it, the trend is still down, even though I'm bullish right now. I'm not saying we're going to go to new all-time highs to 20K or 30. I think that the trend is still down and not broken. You'll know the trend is broken if we start punching above this area here at 10,500. All right, guys, that's it for today. Pretty decent update. We're going to keep an eye on it. Remember, I'm bullish, anticipating this head and shoulders formation to pull, to break away and punch to the upside. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Talk to you later. God bless you. Hope your trading is going super, super well. And I'm out.